Hi everyone, welcome to Thrive Up. And today is our very first episode, and we will discussing a topic about feedback, how to handle tough feedback at work. And this is a topic that almost relevant to all professionals. So constructive feedback can really help our growth. We will delve into what makes feedback challenging and provide tips on how to tackle it. We will highlight the relevance of reflection, truth-seeking, open-mindedness, and growth mindset. And let's delve into this journey together. I am your host, Annie. Today is our very first episode. I can't believe it's actually happening. I will be a solo podcaster today. And in the future, we will have more interview sessions. Today, we will talk about Thrive Up in tech industry. More specifically, by learning how to receive tough feedback. We will talk about 4 tips and 3 golden steps that you can use in any communication. What is the tough feedback we are talking about? Here, we're not talking about your friend saying, "Oh my god, your idea is so cute." It is about when you submit your code review and the reviewer says, "I think your code readability can be improved." Or you're given a presentation and then someone says, "Your presentation is not very clear. I couldn't follow what you're saying." Yeah, it's the kind of feedback that really hit you in the gut. It's actually happened quite often, our daily job, right? People maybe don't mean it. For example, say if you're a software engineer at work, that you're about to roll out a new feature and your team drop a bomb, says, "The user interface is a little bit confusing, and I'm not sure this is the right time to launch this feature." Bump. This is tough feedback, isn't it? Yeah, this moment happened, and it is so common that we can feel attacked, feel that we're not respected, or feel we're not good enough. It is so common. However, we can also view those challenges as opportunities to grow. How exactly to shift our mind? How to really feel differently about those kind of feedback? And you will learn all about it after listening to today's episode. I'm sure you will have a decent idea of how to shift your mind, how to feel better, and how to grow after you finish listening. The question is how. And our very first point, a very, very powerful point, is reflection. What is reflection? You know, it is natural to feel defensive and you want to explain yourself immediately after you're receiving tough feedback. However, it is so magical if you pause, take a break, and then take a moment to reflect. This is so crucial. It is allowing you to understand yourself better, to understand why you feel a certain way, and understand what is the real problem. For example, once at work, I received feedback about how I present in my design meeting, and someone came to me and says I wasn't very confident and my points were not very clear in the design meeting. Oh my god, the moment I hear the feedback, I feel so rushed. I want to explain myself. I wasn't not confident. Why you think I'm not confident? And I think my document is so clear. It explains the context so clear. I feel that I was in a rush to explain myself. I want to defend myself. I want to prove that their point is not correct. However, I didn't explain it right away. I paused. I took a moment to reflect. I took a breath and asked myself, how do I feel? I feel angry. I feel offended. And why do I feel that way? Maybe because I feel I wasn't confident in my design skills. I feel that I need to explain myself. Maybe the way I present in the meeting that it was too fast and give people an impression that I wasn't confident. Yeah, once I take a moment and reflect and really connect to how I feel and why I feel such way, it really helps me to see the problem and to help me really be calm and understand what is going on. And it helps me to finally improve my skills. It is not that easy to not defend yourself right away, and it takes practice. It is a mental workout to be reflective, but it can also become your superpower. So the golden tip, the very first tip is remember to reflect. What's next after reflecting? It is time to find the truth, playing the detective game. How do you find it? One really helpful way is to reach out to people you trust. Like reach out your colleagues, mentors, share the top feedback, and then discuss about it. Because an outside viewpoint can be a game changer. It can offer so many fresh perspectives and valuable context. Sometimes when you're doing something, you're so close to it that you might stuck. It's hard for you to think out of box. And in this case, external perspective, it's so valuable. For example, say you're a product manager on a project and someone give you feedback the product workflow is not very simple and you don't know if that's true. And after reflecting, you're going to find the truth, whether it is simple or not. And then you start to seek feedbacks from a very diverse group of people, say designers, PM, developers, and end users. And during this whole process, and during this discussion and their perspective, this whole process is like a roundtable discussion, and everyone have their very unique point. And it really helps you to understand something from multiple angles and really helps you to get that kernel of truth, to really understand how true is this feedback. So after you're playing the detective game, our next golden tip is open-minded. This is so important. Even if you don't agree with this tough feedback, and you find you're seeking the truth and you're getting so many different perspectives from different people, and after evaluation, you still don't agree with this feedback, what you do? Now it's time to be open-minded. Even if you don't agree with them, there is always something to learn. Embrace a different perspective, and it's like you see a different world. Even though you may not agree with them, but you can see different angle of it, different perspective. It may open up a door for different opportunities, right? For example, in the daily job, if you're a software engineer and you submit your code change and your colleague may suggest some change to your coding approach, after you reflecting and you actively seeking the truth, maybe by doing the online research, maybe by asking your colleagues, and after all the research you still don't agree with their suggestion, and it's time to be open-minded, trying to have curiosity on why they suggest this way. Instead of ignoring it, you can be open-minded about it, trying to see why they suggest this way. Maybe it's not working for your approach, but it can be helpful for future different problems. It's always a learning opportunity, isn't it? Being open-minded is not about abandoning your own idea. It's not about accepting whatever other people are suggesting. It is about being open, being curious about different perspectives, and use them as your learning opportunity. Maybe they have point, maybe they have not, but being open-minded, you can really unlock more potential improvement in the future. You might see things in a more well-rounded way in the future. Now, let's talk about our last but not least point, growth mindset. What is growth mindset? In order to explain growth mindset, it's important to also mention fixed mindset. The fixed mindset is you believe things are fixed. You believe things cannot be changed. You are born with who you are and you cannot change. However, with growth mindset, that you believe people are dynamic. People grow as they learn. A growth mindset believes in the potential for personal growth and see challenges as opportunities. When someone hears a tough feedback, a fixed mindset can be, oh my God, I can't believe they're criticizing my work again. Oh, it's like always find something wrong. I am just not cut off for this. Maybe this project isn't for me. Maybe I should just stick to what I already know. It is just so frustrating that they don't see how hard I'm trying. Yeah, so that's a typical fixed mindset. And maybe some of you may find it's very familiar to you. It is completely understandable and normal to have this feeling. Who doesn't want to hear that their work is being appreciated? Who doesn't want to have some rewarding and hear something nice on their work, right? However, with growth mindset, someone can think in this way, like, I really appreciate this feedback. It is so great to know that this is where I can improve. I can really see this feedback as opportunity for me to grow, and I will take all the suggestions. And constructive criticism is so valuable for my development, and I will always learn from it. See, this is how different mindset, and then with different mindset, you'll see things differently. Among all the 4 tips we've given so far, including reflecting, and actively seeking the truth from other people, and also be open-minded and having growth mindset. I think growth mindset is one of the most important ones because this is really the foundation for us to view things. If you have growth mindset, you actually believe that you can change, and you will actually try to improve yourself and apply it on any action item based on people's feedback. That is so crucial for you to actually change and improve, grow, become a better version of yourself from feedback. So this is really one of the most crucial points when we receiving tough feedback. We can't always change. We are always growing. Now it's time to go to our universal rule. This is a rule that you can not only use for feedback receiver, but also can apply for any kind of communication. I can assure that if you apply the 3 golden steps in your conversation, you will find your communication skill improved magically. But over time, what are the 3 points, the 3 golden steps in the conversation? They are active listening, acknowledging, and being grateful. You probably wonder, is that easy? That seems very common, doesn't look golden to me. Yes, it is. It is that easy with only the 3 points. And what does it mean? Let me explain it. firstly, active listening. That means you really listen. You really listen to what is being said. You know, it is so common for us to defend ourselves, to interrupt people, to explain yourself. However, if you want to understand feedback, you really need to take a moment to reflect and understand the truth, to be able to grow and become a better version of yourself. In order to do that, you really need to listen to what is being said. I mean, if you put yourself in other people's shoes and you want to talk about something, and you want to give feedback to someone, and that person just keep interrupting you, keep defending themselves, how would you feel? How would you be able to deliver this feedback without being emotional? On the other hand, if you deliver this feedback and the person who received the feedback really listen carefully and show their respect, how would you feel? How would you feel differently? Yeah, so that is so clear that active listening really helps with the communication. This is the first step. And then it is about acknowledging. What does acknowledging mean? Acknowledging means that you try to summarize what you understand. So here is the example. You're at work and you design a UI, and then your teammate says, I think this navigation bar could be more intuitive. Instead of you just nodding and moving on, you say, okay, you're suggesting that we enhance the user journey for this navigation bar. Did I get that right? By saying this, not only shows that you are actively engaged, but also ensure that you guys are on the same page, right? This is like tech handshake, and it's really helpful for effective communication. Acknowledging is really a bonus move to level up your active listening game. You really clarify any misunderstanding and help everyone communicate better, understand each other better. You really help people release their energy. So imagine that if someone was not very happy with you, and then they're gonna give you some tough feedback. With your active listening and acknowledging, you really help the person release their negative energy. So after they're able to release energy, you really help the person not put any emotion to the discussion. So this really help you guys to move forward as a team. Our last step is express gratitude. That is, thank the person for their time and insights. It is about mutual respect and growth. Why is that? Because giving feedback is very stressful. Imagine if you're a manager and your report want to give you feedback. Just imagine how much pressure they take just to deliver a feedback to you, right? It is not that easy. It takes so much courage to deliver feedback. So it is always good to be grateful for any feedback. With growth mindset, every feedback is an opportunity for you to learn, to grow. So you should be grateful for other people give you this opportunity for you to become a better version of yourself, right? Why not showing your gratitude to them? So now we finish all our tips and golden steps to receiving feedback. To give a quick overview, our 4 tips, including reflect, take a deep breath, reflect, and then to seek the truth by asking other people's opinions. You either agree or disagree with the feedback, but that doesn't matter because you will embrace open-minded, and with growth mindset, you're able to grow. And then you communicate by apply 3 steps. they are active listening. You really listen to what is being said, and then you summarize about what you heard and acknowledging people, making sure there is no misunderstanding. And finally, you show you're grateful for them giving your feedback, because giving feedback is so helpful for you to grow. It is really not that easy. It takes practice, because it is just really common for us to defend ourselves. It's hard for us to practice active listening or advance. It takes time. So be patient. You will be there. Alright, everyone, that's pretty much today's episode. Thank you so much for listening till now. I really appreciate it, because it is not that easy to listen to one person just talk about random stuff, right? I really appreciate your patience with me, and I hope I can see you next week. Same time, I will be here talk about how to break into tech and how to thrive in tech industry. Feel free to leave any comments or send me a message on LinkedIn page. We also have a weekly newsletter to summarize everything we mentioned in the podcast. Alright, I'm looking forward to hearing any discussion, anything you wanna hear in our future episodes. Thank you everyone, and see you next week.